My number 12 wide receiver in this draft is Dwayne Eskridge of Western Michigan University. This is the guy right here, King of the North. You asked me earlier if there was a Terry McLaurin type in this draft that you could get in the mid-rounds that could be a steal for you, a guy that turns into a true bona fide number one wide receiver. This is that guy right here. Now, I said that his profile has improved so greatly. He had one of the best Senior Bowls of any wide receiver in this year's crop that I think he might have catapulted himself into the second round. When the Senior Bowl first got underway, this guy was probably more of a fourth, maybe a third round pick. I think he worked himself into the second round. And then when you put his pro day on top of the film and what he did at the Senior Bowl, I think he solidified himself as a second rounder now. But if he went in the third round, that's where Terry went. I could see him having that kind of impact. He's got that kind of potential. Let's talk about Dwayne Eskridge and what he brings to the table. Let's flip this thing over and take a look at the back of his card as we look at his strengths. This is a guy that you start out with, and the first thing that catches your eye, you watch him on tape. Track athlete speed. Speed! His speed looks different. You know, you got the guys like Jalen Waddle looks different. You know, Elijah Moore looks different. Certain guys in this draft, you watch them run, they look different. I've termed those guys beggars. They're beggars. Blink of an eye guy, meaning at any point you blink and this guy's gone and it's a touchdown. He's one of those dudes, blink of an eye guy. At any moment in the game, he could take it the distance and you don't stand a chance. He's a track athlete that plays football, and you can tell. And I'm going to just tell you right now, the second strength is the one that for me does it with him every time I see it. There was one play I watched him. I can't remember the game I'm watching him in. Might have been Akron. I don't know who the hell they were playing. It doesn't matter. He caught the ball flat-footed. Okay? They threw him a hitch. They didn't give him any blocks or anything like. They just threw him the ball. The corner was off like 5 or 7 yards, and they just threw it to him. Corner was off like 7 yards. Just threw it to him at the line of scrimmage. And there were 2 defenders waiting on him. I lie to you not. He caught the football flat-footed, turned up the field, and ran by everybody. I said, you got to be kidding me. Everybody had the angle, and then nobody had the angle. That's what you call microwavable acceleration. The shit is instant. There's no build-up. There's no ramp necessary. There's no runway needed. The man took one step, and he was running at full speed. Like, how is that even possible? And I'm looking at this dude. I watched that play like 6 times because I couldn't believe what I just watched. The acceleration on this dude, second to none in this draft. And you got Jalen Waddle. And you have guys like Elijah Moore. And you got guys like Rondale Moore who can run flat out fly. I don't think their acceleration is greater than his. They might be faster, top end speed faster. But getting to your fastest speed in an instant, Dwayne Eskridge does it. The man had a 1-5-0 10-second split. For those of you scoring at home. I mean, that tells you that the acceleration is dumb, stupid. So, the acceleration for me is his biggest attribute right now. Quickness and physicality. For a guy that's 5'9", 189, and just so you know, he's a 4.35 40 guy. Okay? Just so you know. 4.35 40 guy. The quickness and physicality. So the quickness, you get to see it when he's running routes. I watched him run routes at the Senior Bowl. Nobody could stay in front of him. Why? Because he's too damn quick. Yeah, he's fast, But there's quick and then there's fast. They're two separate entities. You can be fast and not quick. You can be quick and not fast. He's both. So that makes for a deadly package when you're quick and you're fast. We've heard the phrase many a times. He's quicker than fast. Well, he's both. He's really fast and he's really quick. And I was shocked for a guy in a 5'9", 190-pound frame. He's really physical, man. Watch him get off the line of scrimmage. Guys try to come up and challenge him, and he's like, man, yo, get your ass off of me. He'll give him 1-2 step, a little Sierra off the line of scrimmage. Let me see you 1-2 step, and then bow, slap the hell out of him. Get off me. I'm like, okay, I see you, Dwayne. I see you, and I hear you, and I feel you. And I'm watching him in the run game. He's taking no prisoners, man. Like, you don't usually see 5'9" dudes getting in there and mixing it up. And you don't see 5'9" dudes coming off the line of scrimmage with that kind of aggression. I love it. Want more of it. So there's a physicality to his game despite him being sub 5'10" and sub 190 pounds. Vertical threat. Look, I don't have to explain that to you. It's self-explanatory. He's a track athlete, 4'3", 540 guy. Yeah, he can get vertical in a hurry. Can create separation. I talked about the Senior Bowl and just the inability of anybody at the Senior Bowl to cover this guy and stay in front of him. And a lot of that stems from, look, if you've got the kind of speed that he has, or the kind of speed that Jalen Waddle has, or Elijah Moore, or Rondale Moore, some of these guys that can really run in this draft, when you have that kind of speed, you have to use that to your advantage. Just let them taste it one time. That's it. Let them taste that speed once. It's just like two boxers in a ring, and we know you got power, but that guy that you're fighting might not know how much power you have. So you got to let him taste it once. And if he was being aggressive before, once he tastes that power once, and he realizes this dude could knock my ass out, I got to be careful. He's not going to be coming in as aggressive anymore. Because he's got to be careful now. He knows all it takes is one punch to make him go night-night. Same thing with guys with this kind of speed. Just let them taste the speed once, and they'll back the hell up. They'll give you a little bit of space to operate. So he could create separation just off of the fact that he's fast. Just off the fact that he's fast. Run after catch. So he's not a make you miss run after catch guy. He is a outrun your angle after catch guy. I'm going to just flat out run by you after the catch. Body control and hands. I'm watching him in a game. They're trailing by 10 late in the ball game. They're trailing by 11, late in the ball game. They score a late touchdown, and they cut it to 4-point lead. They use all of their timeouts. They get the ball back, and the team they're playing against is playing a soft-ass defense, just giving them every underneath throw you could ask for. And so the quarterback keeps taking these check downs to the running back, and he catches it and he runs out of bounds. And you know in college football, if you get a first down, it stops the clock too. But he kept catching it and running out of bounds. Or he catch it and he get a first down and they come up and they could spike it. Well, he just kept catching it and running out of bounds. And so they were just matriculating their way down the field. Time was not on their side, but they kept gaining yards and getting first downs and getting out of bounds and stopping the clock. And then finally, the defense said, all right, enough of this. After like 5 straight check downs to the running back out of the backfield for about a good 45 yards, they said, okay, enough of that shit. We can come up and take that away. So Dwayne Eskridge goes up the sideline, and he throws a laser to him. And he goes up, climbs the ladder, contorts his body, pirouette, snatches it out of the air, gets 2 feet in bounds, and gets out of bounds down at about the 5-yard line. And they end up throwing a touchdown pass 2 plays later and win the game. He's got body control. He's got hands. He's got a lot of things he brings to the table. He's a run blocker. I talked about his physicality in the run game. He's willing to work for his food. Special teams value. This is a guy that only had returns in 1 year, and that was this year in 2020. As a kickoff return specialist, this guy had a touchdown, though. So, again, you can utilize this guy in a multitude of ways, and if you want special teams value, he can offer you a little bit of that as well. Weaknesses. All right, his growth as a receiver was stunted. So here's what happened. At Western Michigan, they kept waffling back and forth with the idea of him playing cornerback. He was so athletic, so gifted as an athlete. They was like, man, we feel like you might be better served as a corner. So they were playing him at corner. They were playing him at wide receiver. He ends up getting hurt. Breaks his clavicle in 2019. All right. And so I think because they were experimenting with the cornerback position, it didn't allow him to maximize his ability to just focus and hone in on becoming the best possible wide receiver he could be. So I think while it's a weakness because he's not where he probably should be as a fifth-year senior and a 24-year-old coming into the league. Think about that for a second. He's 24 years old. This guy's first season was back in 2016. You don't get many 24-year-old rookies in the NFL. Most of these boys are coming out, they're 21, they're 22, they're 23 at max. He's 24. Got a little bit of age on him. He should be further along in the process at 24 years old. But because he was playing some corner, growth was a little stunted. So, that's something to consider. He will have occasional drops. It's not because he doesn't have natural hands. It's because he's trying to make a play before he catches the ball. He's just got to look it in and make sure. I've always said, you can't ball before you have the ball. You can't run and gun. You can't have fun. You can't ball without the ball. And he's just got to understand, I got to look it in. I want to run by everybody, but I got to catch it first. Or else I'm just running a track meet. Played in a very heavy RPO offense. So what does that mean? It takes away from your route running ability. I can't tell you how many times this man caught a slant off of RPO and just murked. Just ran past everybody. Gone. Touchdown. Same damn slant on RPO. Linebackers suck up because they've run it 37 times already on this same play. So they got to respect the run on the run pass option. And they pull it out, and he throws a slant to Eskridge, and he just smokes the corner, beats the safety's angle, and he's gone. But when you play in an offense like that, you're not exploring the route tree. You're not running the dig route. You're not running a corner. You're not running a post corner. You're not running the routes that you're going to run with the complexity that you're going to run them at the next level. So again, more stunted growth. And then as I just mentioned, clavicle injury. 2019 cost him all but 4 games. Broke his clavicle. So that's something that's on the Carfax. So that's something to consider. So I said all of that to say this. I got a day 2 projection on him. Could go in the 3rd round. I think he more likely than not with his speed and his ability at the Senior Bowl to separate. I think he's a 2nd round pick now. But he could go in the 3rd round. I heard the Chicago Bears are drooling all over this kid and they're willing to spend a 2nd round pick on him. Wouldn't be shocked. He's got all the tools. Right now, I comp him to Scotty Miller, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers speedy receiver. And when you look at their numbers side by side, size, 40 time, 3-cone, all of those things, you put them side by side, they are eerily similar. However, I look at him as a Scotty Miller type right now because I feel like he's got so much developing to do, and Scotty Miller did as well as a receiver. He wasn't polished coming into the league. He's just a big play threat, which is essentially what D'Wayne Eskridge is right now. I think if he matures into what I think he can become, I got 2 guys in mind. I think he's so much faster than Emmanuel Sanders, E-Man San, but I could see him evolving into an Emmanuel Sanders type. Just silky smooth, great route runner, good hands, catches everything. But if he gets to the maximum peak, I put down in my notes, if he doesn't get any better, he's Scotty Miller. If he gets a little bit better, hones in on his craft, he becomes Emmanuel Sanders. If he maximizes his God-given ability, becomes the best possible receiver he can be, he's Steve Smith Sr. So that's why I said if there's a guy that I look at that could have a Terry McLaurin type of impact in the league in this year's draft that a lot of people aren't really focused in on, it's Dwayne Eskridge. He's my number 12 wide receiver in the 2021 NFL draft.
Louie T Network.